"1992 was an extremely special time for me. It shaped the person I am today."
It's the best memories of my life here at Roanoke.
Tradition, something Roanoke has, and something I'm just thankful that I got to contribute to.
It was our destiny that season for both teams.
I think about it every day.
We all trusted and we all played our own little part, and it was really truly a family.
We were playing for each other, and I think that built a bond that really carried us to the national championship.
This whole experience has shaped me into the person I am today.
It doesn't feel like 20 years, it feels like yesterday.
We've been waiting a long time, but you know what? While we've been waiting, baby, we've been working.
The Roanoke College men's lacrosse team won 12 games in 1992, a mark in that era equaled only by the 1978 national championship team.
I think we really grew together. We got to know each other. I got to learn more about being a head coach in those 4 years. They got to learn about being a student athlete at Roanoke College, so I think it was an evolution.
The 1992 women's lacrosse team and its seniors led the program to 23 straight home wins, a record that stands to this day.
When Tracy Coyne came to Roanoke, my sophomore year, things just changed. I'm not sure what she did much differently. We were all the same people, but she believed in us, then got us to believe in ourselves, and just got it to come out of us.
The men entered the 1992 season having never reached the postseason. Senior leadership decided that was going to change.
January of 1992, Coach Pilot and Coach Clark did something that we had never done at Roanoke before. They turned the January conditioning session over to the seniors and to the captains, Dan Morrison and myself.
Those guys basically told us it was time to produce, that what had been happening, the status quo wasn't getting it done.
If you were running around acting like a jerk on a Friday night and we had a big game on a Saturday night, it would be bad for you the next day. And when you hold each other accountable like that, you accomplish more as a team.
Bill Pilot certainly had his success at Roanoke, and I think he was very determined to make sure that we knew that we had an opportunity here that doesn't come along all the time.
The women leadership began their campaign missing key players from the previous year and would send a message of their own as the season began.
I felt my role as the captain was really just to say, you know what, this is not just my year, but this is our year, and we can do this.
It was really good to walk in there and have two captains who were so willing to put everything out there, and not just for themselves, but to bring everybody along with them.
Bill Pilot's team would deploy a strategy lethal to opponents in 1992 and today.
Myself and Coach Clark, my assistant coach, kind of put in a new system of run and gun style, pushing the tempo style of play. We thought our players played well into that.
Constantly harass and create opportunities to score. It changed the face of our offense. And we had the talent on the team to run that offense.
There was no slowing the ball down. We were to take it away and run right to the goal, and if someone picked us up, give it to one of our teammates and let them score.
The season started off really wanting to go back up to Baltimore and beat Salisbury, which was a big goal for us at the beginning of the year. And once we got past that, you started to realize what a special thing we had going on with this team.
While the men were setting records in goals, assists, points, and shots, marks that would stand for nearly 2 decades, the women's coaching staff was implementing new tactics as well.
We're in a classroom. And we're like, what the heck are we doing in a classroom? Well, that was the first of many classes of mental training. It's not just about skills alone, it was really who had the will to win that really kind of charged us and directed us and allowed us to win.
We had a chance to scrimmage against some really phenomenal teams. Like we played Hopkins on their home campus, and we went to the William & Mary Invitational. We played Princeton, we played Harvard, we played William & Mary, and we really saw some really high level lacrosse, and we always played much better when higher levels like that. And that got us prepared for the Final Four.
3-0 and then 4-0, and it slowly but surely started to prove to us younger players that we are we are going somewhere. We have the ability to go somewhere.
Chaos generated 23 goals a game against ODAC opponents. The Maroons captured their 10th conference crown and set a date with 12-2 Gettysburg in the NCAA Division III quarterfinals in what would be an epic 16-15 Roanoke win. The women would finish a perfect 13-0 in the regular season, and a setback to Washington and Lee in the conference tourney would only refocus the Lady Maroons for their NCAA quarterfinal 15-11 victory over Frostburg State.
What we accomplished in that season made it all crystal clear that when you make that commitment to the team and to the program and to the family, that just furthers everyone along the path.
With graduation a distant memory and the campus empty, the two teams bonded, attending each other's games.
Both teams had the same goal, and that was to go to and win the national championship. And we could poke fun at them and we could make fun of them, but nobody else better.
We were all one program, so it was kind of like when they did well, we did well, or when they won a game, we absolutely had to win that game.
There was some playful competitiveness, but we were definitely supporting each other because we didn't want to go home. We wanted to keep playing lacrosse, keep getting free food, free lodging, and having fun.
The women, we sort of resented them a little bit. You know, they got to take these nice big buses everywhere, and we were in these minivans.
We used to have vans when I was a freshman. And if they would have been like us and wrecked one of the vans and had all the random call-ins and complaints, they might have been on a bus the very next year like we were.
I feel like we just thought, what are we doing wrong here? We feel like we're doing it all right, but we're not getting the goods.
We had a nice bus all the time with movies, and road trips were a lot of fun for us. It sounds like they were not as fun for the girls.
The men's team had this, unknowingly beautiful, wonderful, music playing, carpeted locker room, and ours was this little hole in the wall.
But we had a pretty sweet locker room, We had video games and couches and TVs and all kind of fun stuff.
I was never in there, but we just knew, like, when we'd see them go in there, it'd be like, that is way better than anything we have.
We had some basketball hoop in there for a while.
They had a cave, like a man cave, and we had nothing. I honestly can't remember where we used to go pre-game. I think we just met on the field.
Working. Today, let it all hang out.
Ithaca stood in the way of a trip to the national championship.
Our goalie came out ready to play, made some big saves early on, got Ithaca frustrated. Their goalie didn't have a very good game, and we just jumped all over them. And it was pretty much over by halftime.
That team ran into a buzzsaw from us. We just ran it down their throats the whole game.
That was the day of my 4 years that everything came together.
By the Ithaca game, there was really no stopping us. We were on a roll. Ithaca didn't know our strategy. They didn't understand the way we were playing. They were used to more of a slow-down pace. So, we scored 20 goals on them, which was then a record for NCAA goals in a game for Roanoke.
Roanoke dispensed of the Bombers 22-11 in the Final Four matchup, and Pilot's first recruiting class was headed to the title game. The Lady Maroons' run ended in the semifinals against Trenton State. Roanoke finished an impressive 15-2.
I don't remember for a second that we ever gave up hope. We might have known that we weren't going to win, but we never ever threw in the towel, and we gave it our all, 120%, until that clock ticked down to 0.
Tracy Coyne was named Regional Coach of the Year.
Coach Coyne, amazing coach. She had such good ideas. Some of the plays she ran, I think, were genius. Had us run. She kept a level head, but very intense at all times, and I think we played just like that.
The men's campaign came to a close at Franklin Field at UPenn in Philadelphia, less than an hour's drive from where the girls' season ended at Lehigh University. Nazareth would play flawless lacrosse, despite a valiant effort from the Maroons.
Game got to 14-11. In the fourth quarter, we were behind the whole game, and we caught it to 3 goals in the fourth quarter, and then we had nothing left in the tank, and the injuries and fatigues, kind of wore us down, and they won the championship. They were the better team, and they won the national championship.
To get to the pinnacle of your sport, I mean, that's what every little kid dreams of. It's no secret Hobart won 13 national championships in a row. Growing up in upstate New York, I went to many of those games at Boswell Field and watched Hobart win. So to walk on to Franklin Field and actually get to participate in one was amazing. And I'll never forget that for as long as I live.
I continue to be very close friends and in contact with many of the people that I was on the field with that day. I think there was a real brotherhood established that day on that field. Regardless of whether or not we accomplished our goal or not, we walked off of that field as brothers and have continued to be since then.
The heights reached by the 1992 Roanoke men's and women's lacrosse teams are still unmatched. But it is the friendships forged, the memories made, and the life lessons learned that carry on for both teams.
When you think of 5 things or 5 people that have changed your life, one of my people is Tracy Coyne, and one of my 5 things is being part of this team. That really affects my self-esteem and helps me kind of take on challenges in life today.
Once a year, a lot of the guys like to get together in Annapolis and play an alumni lacrosse team. And the same old lines, the same old jokes, it's like you didn't miss a beat with each other, and it's pretty wild that way.
There's a lot of emotions in that 92 season. It was a great year to go to Roanoke, and anytime you see one of those guys, it's like you're right back there. It's hard to believe 20 years have gone by. And that's why it's so much fun to play every October with those guys, because it doesn't have to be 20 years. You only have to wait 12 months till you see them again, and you get to try to do it again.
Having accomplished what I did and what we did as a team 20 years ago are probably up there with marriage, having children. I mean, it's just something that unless you've been there, you just can't experience it.
We've got guys that are 55 years old playing for us with guys 35 years old from Roanoke, guys that had never played together or overlapped. But as soon as they step out on the field and play Roanoke lacrosse, all the pieces of the puzzle fall right back into place. That's pretty special too.
For me, being the coach 24 years, it's really exciting for me when the guys from the 70s can meet the guys from the present, and the 2000s and the 90s and the 80s can meet the guys, and they all know each other, and they know the names, and they know the tradition, and there's no prouder tradition in Division III than Roanoke College lacrosse. We plan to keep it that way.
Miss being down there. Had a lot of fun. You taught us well. Hopefully we get down there sometime soon. Good luck this year.
So far, it's a good day. I'm out of shape. I'm old, angry, bald, short. It's good to hang out with the boys again. Thanks for all the gashes, Coach. I've sworn never to do another one the rest of my days. It's paying off now, though.
Hey, you wish we looked this good back in the day. 250 pounds and nothing but love.
Don't get me started.
Come on. Say, go Raiders.
He's a real
he says, I so me.
Like a band of brothers. Right where we left off.